This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You didn't talk about his phone.
Yes, I did.
We did it earlier.
Yep, we did it earlier. Okay, clerk items. On the docket, we have first to approve the village special meeting executive session minutes, August 30th.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Do we have any discussion? No? Can we vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. B, approve the public hearing and regular board meeting minutes from September 5th, 2023. Thank you, Anita. Very concise.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Andrew.
Second?
Thank you, Mark. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next, publication for the invitation for bids for the submarine cable. Kimball is asking for 3 reels. Thank you. He may not be able to get 3 depending upon the cost, but Mindy will take care of that. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And then again, revocation of the village employee COVID-19 pandemic policy. We did discuss that. Chuck had called Linda Beers to get some guidance from the county, which is contradictory to what we had been doing, but we've come up with our own. Do we have a motion on the floor?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I think we were going to approve that with a caveat.
Yes, I think we're approving it and we have new policy.
Well, it's not only new policy,
Just a
we're reverting
clarification.
to the sick policy that we've always had. But we were going to send out a letter to employees just to inform them of that and give some advice on COVID that the health department is giving. But there is no new policy, so really we're just reverting to what it was.
Okay. And we have a motion, right?
And second?
And a second, so all in favor?
Aye.
Approving the agreement for the Lake Placid Sinfonietta for 23-24 to give 6 concerts at Mids Park. The cost is $5,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
We're giving the Lake Placid Centennial $5,000.
We do every year.
To provide concerts for the public.
It's another one of those that may fall into the heading of they'll be fund in the future, but we'll see how our budget goes.
Last on the clerk items so far is set the public hearing for the proposed local laws 2 and 3, re the tax exemptions for veterans and emergency services workers, which the school has already done and the town is in the process of doing. And that is set for October 2nd, but didn't you?
So both those categories that you just mentioned are together in local law 2. Local law 3 will be regarding
The seniors, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We just found out today that law, it's not finished. Like the other attorney was making some changes, so
Okay.
it's not going ready in time for us to make a official legal announcement. So
we're just gonna do,
Well, I'm not sure that the other one is going to be ready after the 3 attorneys all look at it.
right. I mean,
Because I'm going back and forth
yeah.
now.
Time.
I
Yeah, we do.
had changes.
Okay, so we can
table this.
Everybody's had changes.
all right.
Okay.
So we'll table this.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is we have to discover in what manner, whether it's a local law or a resolution, that established the senior exemption.
It was local, according to Deb, it was local law.
Because however it was established,
We have
to
to-
amend it has to follow the same.
Okay,
With the new local law or new exemption for volunteer fire department people and emergency services people, that can be passed either with a local law or a resolution. Either one will require a public hearing. I think what you have to consider is if you do it by local law, then if you ever want to amend it or repeal it in the future, it would have to follow that same local law process, which, as you know, requires a public hearing on public notice, movement by the board, assuming if it was approved, then it doesn't become effective until it's filed with the Department of State. A resolution, on the other hand, although it might require a public hearing, would become effective the date you pass it without having to file it. So the board will have to decide at some point how you're going to effectuate that law, if you're going to do it, or that policy.
So the bottom line is there will be no public hearing on October 2nd. Hopefully, all these things will be figured
Sure.
out by October 2nd so that we can hold the public hearings on October 16th. We'll figure that out over the next 2
We need a
weeks.
motion to table it then.
You know,
Because it's on the agenda, right?
well, we weren't going to actually approve it. It was just an announcement. So I don't know if that needs to be,
True.
I think
Tabled,
just
just-
the minutes should reflect that
that there will
it's
be.
not ready.
Right, yep.
And the only other thing I would add is that it's by no means that we don't want to do this for our first responders. It's just that we want to do it right. So they understand.
And just to be clear, so are we talking about for first responders, or is this broader than that?
Well, the
it's
statute
volunteer
talks-
firefighters and ambulance.
And ambulance?
Yes.
Yeah, but.
So that's
but
local law
not-
too.
But not wider than that.
No.
group is-
Correct.
Okay.
But then there's one
So
also
for
for
veterans,
seniors.
Seniors.
well,
Yeah.
there's veterans and seniors and emergency services.
Okay, but so seniors would just be a general age?
So.
Yeah, but it's
so
also an income requirement. and-
Yeah, there would, okay.
Isn't it
The 65 and
where we
older.
have the star? Or is that count?
No, Star is state.
Sure, state.
This is on local taxes. So to answer your question, Katie, the tax break, if you want to call it, is for incorporated, any qualified enrolled member of an incorporated volunteer fire company, fire department, or incorporated volunteer ambulance service that serves the village. There are definitions of qualified enrolled members in the statute, if you want to look it up, and there's requirements for 2 years of service, and then you get other benefits if you've been, and your spouse may get other benefits if the firefighter or ambulance person is deceased, depending on years of service. It's all.
Yeah, we've got it here, but okay. Yeah, because I knew that we were talking about the ambulance and fire, but I think I wasn't sure where
It's
the
a
age.
volunteer first responders,
Yeah,
is what I should have said.
And with the,
There's two separate.
yeah, and with the proposal around seniors, what's, just for background, kind of the origin of that? Is that
Federal government.
federal?
I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
state, state.
And that's a current exemption we have.
Yes, we were just,
It's just a
Yes.
modification of the law, yeah. No, I'm sorry.
But we'll need.
It's
to have-
outlined in section 1, but I just thought I'd just clarify my
We'll need
understanding
to have
of
more
that.
discussion on that anyhow,
Yeah.
since we haven't had any.
Perfect.
You ready? Treasure items?
Oh, no,
Two
we
more
have all more
things.
under
Okay.
So just say we received the memorandum of agreement between the IBEW and the village, it's the electric union. So we want approval for Art to be able to sign that.
Brian spoke to you all during the executive session back on the 30th with regards. This is just so that we can sign it.
So we need a motion to approve the new contract with the IBEW.
Well, just a memorandum of agreement, right? Like,
Yes.
it's not the full.
Oh, it's the memo, okay, the MOU.
Yeah. Well, it's the
There's a
MOU to
memorandum
change
of
the
agreement.
contract. Yeah.
which outlines or sets forth the modifications to the existing contract.
Which then will also come before the board.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Thank you,
Second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And then one final thing, Chuck requested being allowed to go to training for the New York State DCJS Public Safety Symposium next week, I believe it is. It snuck up on him, 2 breakfasts, 1 lunch, 1 dinner, $400 for lodging, no cost for the actual event, so.
Do I have a
I
motion?
make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Oh, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
That's it for me.
Okay, now we can go on to the warrant. Very low warrant this week, very low. Love it, it was easy. Low.
It's okay. There were no trucks, there were no night.
I know.
There were no,
Do we have any new business?
oh, we gotta approve that.
Oh, we have to approve the warrant. Sorry. I approved it.
Thank you, Jackie, for your review.
I'll make a motion to approve the warrant.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Any new business? Okay, any old business?
We brought up again the Lisa G's. Even though we put a sign up, it has to be striped. 'Cause
He's just waiting for the
Yeah.
stuff to come so he can do it.
I'm just,
It's on the,
yeah,
it's on the list.
I just, every night I go through there.
Some people can't read.
Well, it's hard to see that
Lot of
sign
people
because it's right next to.
Change is tough.
It's right next to the building.
I didn't realize it's gonna be both sides, right?
Mhm.
That would be nice. I mean,
Yeah,
that was dangerous.
It was, I pull in,
Well, it's always been on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
yeah, but we moved one more spot back on the right hand side. Now
It
it's gonna
was
be
waiting
all
to door to open or someone to step out. If it's good.
The other place that's striped, and there's a car that parks there in the stripes anyway, is when you come to the light at Mill Hill and you turn right, there's some tenant
oh,
who's in one of the buildings and they always park on the very end of that stripe, and that's not good either. That should be
No, the truck's gonna
addressed.
come around that and clean it.
does Alyssa patrol down there?
She's supposed to.
I
This is
know.
usually though, I think, well, they live there, I think.
Oh, you don't think it's somebody shopping at Wilson's?
No.
It's there all the
They're
time.
So it doesn't matter.
They live in the,
They live
in
in
the
that,
yellow apartment building.
If we could mention it to Chuck.
yeah, they just have to be told to pull a little forward
Mhm.
because they park in the stripes.
Do we have any mayor items?
No.
All right.
fast and easy.
Any
You don't have
trustee-
anything to write down.
Oh, I'm gonna go into
Any
executive
trustee
session.
reports? I'll go. Just wanted to put 2 things on your radar. The review board Wednesday is going to be hearing 2 applications. Just letting you know for your own edification, but only because I think it's important because it's on village, or Main Street village property. So Fizzy's, the arcade, is going to be asking to put a barcade on the 2nd floor. So another outlet,
So that, not the street level.
not the street level, the upper level.
Oh, I thought that
Is
was.
that so the axes
that
don't
would
go
have
through the window?
I don't know. No, that hasn't, it was 2 separate applications.
Okay, so what you're, I thought it was all,
One, no, it
I
was 2
thought when I read
Axe
the
throwing
whole.
cold beer.
Yeah, and then bounce it
idea.
downstairs.
It's a new thing. The problem we have here is we don't, and I'm not saying it wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. And because I was in the restaurant, we don't have the people for it to sustain. It'll be great when we're busy, but when we're slow, it's gonna be very, I'm just saying from my,
Are we
Speak
slowing
so
more?
close to the church.
No wonder. I'm sure they've looked into it.
they've gotta be only 500 feet
They're not 500 feet from the church.
door to door.
Oh.
Probably pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. So that's
I'm sure they've done their
What, the drinking
research.
or the access?
opening of your door to the.
So does that count from the front door of serious question, front door of Main Street or the door on the inside?
Must
To go
count
in.
from the door on the second floor.
I would think.
I would think.
No, I think it's from the, because you enter the building there, it's all,
But there's no alcohol at that level.
Adirondack State
Mhm,
has.
Right.
and that's the
Yeah, they're
reason,
pretty close too.
and the reason is Mrs. Evans never would let it be turned into that, but it was, you could have changed coming into the back door or somewhere up the Swiss House. Is it the Swiss House?
I'm just trying to remember which one.
Australia.
Austria, right? Austria House,
Yeah.
Jim?
So, but she said no, that's why it never was when they had it stuff.
Okay.
You could have made it.
The other application is,
The other application is, the Hollies are selling the Fireside Steakhouse. The Fireside Steakhouse is what I gathered from the application. They are not changing the outside of the building. They're just giving it a fresh coat of paint, cleaning the windows. But it is going to become housing for J1 students. There's going to be a common area in the downstairs level, the common area for a kitchen and a living area, and then 9 bunk rooms. It does not fall under any STR regulations because they are renting. The lease agreements through these agencies will be for longer than a month. So it does not fall under,
So you're saying that our requirement not to have lodging or rental on the first floor doesn't apply if it falls outside the vacation rental?
I looked at it's only a suggestion. The building falls within the historic overlay, and it only is a suggestion that they keep a storefront facade. It's only, I had a lengthy discussion with Mike Corticelli.
So at work, that's all we got.
So my thing is, which becomes a Justin thing, the fire department, they have to have fire escapes or something on that second floor.
I'm sure, I mean, they have to, I'm sure, they're building code, so.
But that's what I'm saying, if we're looking at that, what they have, because a lot of those other ones are first floors or. Okay.
Also back to what Ari was saying, I think we need to, if that's not the case where it's required to have retail or restaurant or something on
It is
street
not a
level, then
requirement.
we need to go back to the drawing board and fix
I
that up.
thought we
And that had nothing to do with STRs, that was the land use code.
I thought we made the change. I know they said they had something there, but I thought we made that change.
Me too.
We'll go back again.
But it's not an STR.
I thought we made the law was any, because it could have been long-term rental.
No, it was it was specific to STR, it wasn't long-term rentals.
That was, I thought we made that.
If a Main Street property wanted to turn it into an STR, aside from the 2-for-1, they had to maintain it was.
But I think we want all buildings
Yes.
to be
That
maintained.
makes sense, yeah. And that's really consistent.
So we have to look at the land use code.
Okay.
And that's totally consistent with like general approach
the
to
too
those
late
type
for
of
this.
zoned areas.
Put an offer.
Another, just as an FYI, a property that was purchased in 2018 under the hopes of becoming an STR in the village was renovated, and now that they cannot get a permit, they are selling the property. So the new laws are turning over housing,
Putting us back to neighborhoods.
hopefully. It's on
Depends on
Mirror
who
Lake.
buys it.
It's on Mirror Lake Drive and it's 1.2 million, but it's still a neighborhood.
Is that Mr. Rogers' neighborhood?
No, that's not Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Okay, got nothing else. Do we have any public comments?
I have a press question.
Sure.
So one, just out of curiosity, what's this thing about being 500 feet from a church?
So
That's the ABC
liquor-
liquor license, they have requirements.
If you're
Some
within a
can-
church or a school, within 500 feet, you're supposedly not allowed to get your liquor license.
But there are exemptions.
Interesting.
A lot of it was grandfathered, or then they sit there and try to figure out how.
But I think also the church can say, it's okay,
Yeah.
we
Was
don't
that
care.
right?
I think so.
Exemption?
I think they can support it if they want, I think.
Because I've always been, whenever I did a liquor license, ask where and everything else.
Wilmington used to require motel rooms, right?
They still
Yeah.
do, they still have a
No,
blue,
they raised it.
they took away the
Yep,
blue
you don't have
line.
to have them anymore.
Because that you couldn't.
That was a local law.
Yeah. This county has a lot of laws that are out there, but Wilmington used to have, you couldn't sell alcohol unless you had rooms. And they let Whiteface do it, but they had to be done selling by 6 o'clock.
Okay. I thought Pennsylvania had years liquor laws.
Go to Vermont, you'll find out it's worse.
I just have one more. What was the purpose of the executive session on August 30th?
For litigation.
And they're really,
No, employee business.
Tonight's litigation.
Right.
So it is-
Yeah, so just per my editor, it has to be a little bit more specific than personnel matters, like, for example, employment history of someone or.
I don't remember what it was. Was it the
Oh, well, it
Union
was,
negotiations?
yeah, it was union negotiations. Brian was here.
right, yes, I was union negotiations.
All right, that's all.
And well, and tonight will be an executive session, correct? And that one will be for litigation.
Correct. Existing litigation.
If there are no more comments, no, I'd like to have somebody make the motion to go into executive session.
Make the motion.
Thank you.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do you need, or can you